Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Mindy's Best. I'm super excited to have you here with me. You guys, we are gonna stay home today. We're gonna get that comfy, cozy feeling of fall. We're gonna make some fall treats. So we're doing a fall bake with me today. And here's the thing about fall. If you can't make the fall appear in a treat form, at least you can make your house smell like fall. So I'm gonna start off with this amazingly delicious recipe that you can just put on your stove and your house will be filled with the smell of fall. So we're gonna start off with that. We're gonna make a fall potpourri. We are going to make one of my very favorite pies that I know how to make, and it's not pumpkin pie. I've actually never made pumpkin pie. We are going to be making a caramel apple Snickers pie that is so good, has drizzled caramel all over it. It's got treats inside. It is just the pure feeling of fall in your mouth. And we are going to be making a super easy, a pumpkin chip cookie that is so easy. It's only 3 ingredients and will take you about 10 minutes. I'm excited to bake with you today, and I'm excited to fill my house with the smell of fall. Okay, so we want our house to smell like fall, right? We don't always want to be burning a candle. We don't have the right diffuser or the right oils. We just want our house to smell yummy, but I have some ingredients in my fridge and pantry that will totally work. So let's get to it. Let's make our house smell yummy. You guys, I want to first tell you about this. This is very simple, okay? These are just staples that you probably have in your house. You only need vanilla, cloves, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks, apple, and an orange. Whoa, that's so awesome. Okay, so we're just gonna get all this ready. I'll tell you guys exactly how we're gonna make it. Okay, you guys, to start, we've got our pot, we've got our knife and cutting board. We're gonna take our apple and simply just cut him up. Okay, next, we are just going to peel an orange. Just a simple orange. I have this really awesome orange peeler that I like. I bought it for like $1. It just scores the orange and makes it easier to peel in smaller sections. Okay, you guys, we're about to whip this together. It is so easy. We have our apple that we just cut up. We're gonna throw that in the pot. We have our orange peel from our orange that we just peeled. I'm gonna have that for a snack later. I'm gonna throw this in here. I'm gonna throw in about 4 to 6 cinnamon sticks. I'll go right in the middle. I'll do 5 of them. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh my gosh, you guys, this already smells so good. Then we're gonna take some bay leaves. We're gonna put in probably 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of whole cloves. These are not ground, these are whole. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of whole cloves. You guys, it hasn't even started simmering yet and it already smells like fall in here. I'm so excited. We're gonna top it off here with a little bit of vanilla. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And you guys, we're just going to put some water on top. I've got a couple cups of water here. We're just gonna cover it and then we're gonna throw it on the stove and let it simmer all day long. Okay, I've already got my first recipe done. So you guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn it on to high. I'm gonna let it come to a simmer and then I'm gonna turn it all the way down to low. And you can let that go all day long. It can last several days. The main thing, don't leave it on when you're not home. If you need to leave and you come back, just bring it to a simmer again and remember to keep adding water. The water will eventually evaporate. So I just keep adding water. It lasts a few days and makes my house smell good for quite a while. This next recipe, the caramel apple Snickers pie, is so good. I have had it before at parties and stuff, but it was always made into kind of like a trifle. I saw a recipe for a pie version of it, and so my neighbor always hosts this pie event every Thanksgiving where she gets together all the neighborhood, bring a pie, we'll all just chit chat and have a good time and conversate with everyone. Don't know if that'll be happening this year, but I took this pie the very first year that she hosted that, and it was a huge hit, so much so that I make it every year now. So I've never really made like a traditional pie. I've actually never made a real pie with homemade pie crust. Probably should attempt that this year, but this next one is very easy. It is so good, so easy. You mix a few ingredients together, you cut up a few ingredients, and wham bam, you have the best dessert ever. Snickers bars. Dang it, I accidentally bought the big bag. I guess I'll have to have a few for myself. Now this recipe calls for 3 green apples. Something to know about me, I don't like sour, I don't like tart, I don't like anything that makes me do that. I am going to take out 1 green apple and I am going to replace it with 2 smaller apples because these are small, these are snacking apples. So I grabbed 2 Fuji apples from my fridge and I'm going to take out 1 of the green apples because I like the variety of a little bit of the tart in this recipe because there is so much sweet to go along with it that it balances it out and it's not so tart. But I do like to switch it up and do some red apples, some green apples, kind of mix up those flavors. Then we are going to combine our sweetened condensed milk, our Cool Whip, and our cream cheese together. We're going to put it all in the pie crust, drizzle it with some caramel sauce, and it's gonna be really good. All right, let's get going. For this recipe, you're gonna need Snickers, so I'm just going to open up my bag. You only need 1 cup. Whoopsie, I bought too many. So it's probably, I don't know, a good handful of Snickers. We're gonna unwrap them and cut them up into little teeny bite-sized pieces. Next, we are going to cut up all of our apples. You're just gonna dice these up into small pieces and then we're gonna mix them together with the Snickers. I have cut up all of the apples. You guys, you can tell they're gonna turn brown. We don't want that to happen. I use this every single time I cut up fruit. You find it in the canning section and it just prevents your fruit from turning brown. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. It doesn't have a taste, it doesn't have a texture, but it prevents your fruit from turning brown and looking all yucky. So I'm just gonna mix this in and then I'm gonna mix it in more. And then I'm going to mix these 2 together, fold in the Cool Whip, we'll mix everything together and put it in this yummy pie crust. Okay, this next part really ties in all the flavors. So this is going to be the cream cheese and sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna mix these together and then we'll fold in the Cool Whip. I try not to go crazy mixing the Cool Whip. I more like to fold it in. That way it keeps its yummy, airy texture. Next is our sweetened condensed milk. Just gonna pour this in. Okay, you guys, now comes the exciting part where we get to put in the apples, and I have to show you. Look, none of them are brown at all. That Fruit Fresh really works. It was so good. You really can't even taste it. It's just as if it wasn't even there, but my fruit doesn't look all ugly. Now it's ready to pour in. We are so lucky that we get to have 2 pies. This makes enough filling for 2 pies. I remember last time I made it, we just ate the filling out of the bowl. That also works great too, whatever you wanna do. But you know what? I think that since I have a second pie, I'm gonna find a neighbor that I just feel like could use a sweet treat today and I'll take it over to them. But they're almost finished. We are going to, let's start with the caramel, shall we? You're just gonna drizzle some caramel over the top. Man, oh man. I mean, I always say every dessert's my favorite, everything is my favorite, but this one's really it's near the top. Our family loves caramel, so this is especially one that we love. I think that this is gonna make a neighbor really happy. So we're gonna drizzle on some caramel, and then I cut up a few extra Snickers bars, and we're just gonna embellish it and make it look a little, just putting on some random Snickers, little pieces cut up all over it, because I don't think you can ever have, 1, too much chocolate, and too many treats. So, you guys, there is our pie. Okay, doesn't that pie look amazing? I can't wait to have some tonight for dessert. The more I've been sitting here thinking as I was finishing up the pie, I'm thinking of who I can take one to. So I'm gonna keep thinking. I usually feel like I'm prompted that there is someone that could use a little piece of love today, so that's what I'll do. On to my last treat. My 3-ingredient pumpkin chip cookies. They're very easy. Here's the problem. When I had this idea to do a fall bake with me, the recipes that I wanted to share was like overwhelming. I'm thinking there will most likely be a part 2 to this fall bake with me because there were so many good recipes that I have that I want to do. But I'm gonna finish up today's video with my very favorite pumpkin chip cookie. This is one that my mom taught me how to make. It's very easy, very simple. Let me show you. Okay, so I got everything out here that I needed. This is my last one, so I have more workspace here. I have my cookie sheet. You guys, I absolutely love these. These are Nordic ware. They're a copper pan, and I really, really like them. They're non-stick. And of course, I have out my KitchenAid. I prefer to mix most things this way. You did not see me do that with the pie, and that was mostly because I wanted to really work on that cream cheese because it wasn't completely softened. I always tell you to take out your cream cheese the morning that you're making your dessert. Well, I didn't today. So I took it out last minute. That's why I use my hand beater, but I always prefer to use my KitchenAid. It just works the best. And of course, my favorite little scoop. I love this guy. We are going to need a spice cake mix, a can of pumpkin, and here's my little secret ingredient. Have you ever tried these Hershey's cinnamon chips? Because if you haven't, the oven's ready for us. Okay, we better get baking. But these Hershey's cinnamon chips are so good. They kind of just wrap in the whole fall flavor. That's why I call them pumpkin chip cookies. You can use whatever kind of chips you want. Typically they're made with milk chocolate chips, but I prefer to use these Hershey cinnamon chips, but they're only available at certain times of the year. I did just pick some up at Orsangigi. It's a baking store we have here in Utah, but I do know that I've seen them at Macy's around the fall and winter time. So try and check them out. If not, maybe you can check Amazon or something like that. But they really make this cookie so good. We're already mostly the way done. Can you believe it? I've got my pumpkin mixed in with my spice cake mix. Last to go in is my cinnamon chips. Okay, now I'm just gonna use my scoop and I'm just going to get pretty rounded scoopfuls and I'm going to just put them right on my baking sheet. We're gonna fill this baby up and then we'll just bake them for a few minutes. In we go. 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. While the cookies are baking, I was gonna tell you guys, baking is always a good time to get your kids involved or to do acts of service. My kids always love to help. They don't usually make the entire recipe from start to finish, but they love feeling like a part of it. So even if I pour the vanilla into the teaspoon and they just simply turn it into the bowl, they love helping. So use it as an opportunity to spend some one-on-one time with your kids. You guys, I have done a video about that where I've baked with my kids before, so I can link those for you here in the cards. But it's really fun to be able to spend that kind of time with the kids. I feel like without knowing that I needed this today, I needed this today. I needed to have a little bit of alone time. I don't get very much alone time at all, but today, just smelling all the fall scents going on with the baking and the potpourri, having a little bit of alone time to just kind of think and hang out with you guys has been really good for me today. So there are times that you just need like a little bit of you minutes. You just take some time for you. So I was just thinking about that while the cookies were baking. I was like, you can either use it as time to spend time with your kids or to have some alone time. But also, if you're making more than you can eat, take a sweet treat to the neighbor. They love it. What neighbor is gonna tell you no, right? Okay, I think they're done. Let's give these babies, ooh, look. You guys, these look so good and they smell so good. Those cinnamon chips, oh, I can smell the cinnamon chips. Okay, Okay, you guys, that is going to wrap up our fall bake with me. My house smells so yummy. I can smell every single thing coming through in that potpourri that's on the stove. It's yummy. You guys are gonna wanna try that one out. I have a yummy dessert for tonight to feed the family. This caramel apple Snickers pie and these easy 3-ingredient pumpkin chip cookies are so yummy, and I can't wait to take some to the neighbors too. So thanks for being here with me. I hope you guys know how much I love and appreciate every single one of you. You are all so incredible, and I hope you know that you're amazing. Do your best, because your best is enough. Today, I'm just gonna move forward with that attitude and know that I'm giving it all I have, and I can't give more than that. So have that attitude every day, and if you need to write it down somewhere to do your best, write it with a dry erase marker on your mirror every morning as you get ready, and you'll look in the mirror and know that you're just gonna give it your best, because your best is enough. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging, and I'll see you next week.